everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Sarah. I am a nursing student and mom sharing my nursing school journey here on YouTube. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what I wish I had known before I started clinical rotations, because there have been some surprises, let me tell you. If you are just about to start clinicals or just curious about what they're like, just keep watching. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below for more nursing related content. Now let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wish I had known before clinical rotation was to expect the unexpected. No matter how much you prepare, clinicals have a way about them that will throw you into new experiences when you aren't prepared for them. Your residents or patients can change at any given time. Your preceptors might have different expectations or desires than you do, and the environment can be super overwhelming at first. Just remember that every nurse started where you were at. Every nurse started in nursing school. So just go with the flow. So just be flexible. Another thing is that you will not know everything. I know that this is something that logically we understand, but when you are thrown into things, it's something that's so important to remember. I, on the other hand, thought I was going to walk in remembering everything I learned from my theory and my lab classes, and that just was not the case at all. Please keep this in mind, but the reality of clinicals is this is where you do your learning. I have learned so much more in clinicals than I have sitting in a lecture or reading a textbook. And also, please remember that nobody expects you to be perfect. Even if you do, nobody else does. The most important thing with clinicals, I don't know why I'm doing this a lot. I'm talking with my hands. The most important thing to remember is you just need to be asking a lot of questions. Take the initiative to ask lots and lots of questions. You are not a burden. You deserve to be there. You are paying money for your clinical experience, so you need to be getting the most out of it. Make sure you are staying engaged. Sometimes it can be very monotonous, sometimes very boring. Sometimes it's easier said than done, okay? Your nurses and instructors and PSWs want to help you, but they also want to see you initiate. Time management. This is everything. Clinicals can be really fast-paced. They can also be very slow. Either way, learning to prioritize is a key foundation in your clinical placements. I do wish I had known how much time it will take to learn these basic skills like bathing and bed changing when you are just starting out. It seems like such a simple task, and it is, but until you get the hang of it, until you get the steps and the mechanisms and your own way of doing things down, it will take time. Vital signs can be so intimidating at the beginning. Once you get the hang of it, you're like, oh, this is a piece of cake. But just remember, if you were just starting out, those are things you have to learn manually, and there can be a really big learning curve to it because you need to know your baselines and then be able to do those on your residents in clinical practice. So, what is my advice? Plan ahead, but don't get stuck on a schedule. Focus on what is most important for your resident and their care. You are going to feel super awkward, so uncomfortable, and like you don't fit. That is normal. I remember feeling so awkward in the beginning trying to do things like repositioning a patient or even introducing myself. I can't count the number of times that I forgot to close a resident's door, which seems like such a small thing, but is absolutely huge in nursing. Privacy is everything. Please remember that confidence comes with a lot of practice. I also felt so uncomfortable being so close to people. I really like my little bubble of energy, and I don't like being in other people's like little bubble, but you have to be in other people's bubbles when you are nursing and caring for your patients. The more you act like you belong there, the more comfortable you will get. The more you get to know the other staff, the more comfortable you will get. So don't be afraid to step up. The best way of learning is by doing. The other thing that I really wish I had known before clinicals was just how important your relationship to the other staff members are. The PSWs, the care aides, the recreational staff, the nurses, the nutritionists. Your preceptor can very likely make or break your learning experience. It really did for me the first time. If you show initiative and genuinely try to learn, they'll be more likely to want to help you and teach you more. Now, that being said, even if you are going out of your way and you're not getting a good response from your preceptor, you can always reach out to your course coordinator, whoever that might be. But just keep in mind that it is a very real thing to not always have a good preceptor in clinicals, and that can make it really challenging. It's still so important to maintain your integrity and desire to be there and learn, even if you don't have that experience, because relationships are those things in healthcare where you don't want to burn your bridges. So nursing is very relationship based, and that's even the case if you are wanting to get a position as a summer student or an extern or a job after. These people are going to be key in getting those jobs. It is all about who you know, as much as we don't want to admit it. So those relationships are really important because they lead to job opportunities later on. Just keep that in mind. The last thing I wish I had known was how important it is to take care of yourself. The way that my clinical rotation is set up is that you can miss one clinical, even 2 clinical shifts and not be put on a success plan. If you miss more than 2 clinical shifts, you will be put on a success plan. Every semester so far, I have taken 1 day off of clinicals to use for a self-care day or to use for studying for midterms or finals, just depending on what I need. And I'm very upfront with my clinical instructors about that. Just don't abuse that. Clinicals are exhausting. It would be wise to not plan to be able to study or do schoolwork on the days of your clinical rotation shifts. This is something that I've implemented. On my clinical days, I don't do any schoolwork because I just mentally cannot handle it. You will be on your feet for hours. You will get your breaks, but they might not be at normal times, and you'll always be running around helping people, doing things, learning. Bring lots of snacks, stay hydrated, and oh my goodness, wear comfortable shoes. Invest in good shoes. Now that you are in nursing school, now that you are a nurse, self-care is not a luxury. It is an absolute necessity, mentally and physically. And it's so much more important in your clinical rotations because you guys, you are not getting paid for your clinicals. I have opinions about that. All right, you guys, so that is everything I wish I had known before I started my clinical shifts. I hope that this video helps you feel more prepared and confident to start your clinicals. If you are a nursing student, drop a comment below and let me know what surprised you about your clinicals. See you in the next video.